Okay, everyone.
One moment.
Oh.
And we're live.
Welcome, everyone, to the November 19th meeting of the Arizona Commission for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing Interpreter Licensure Committee meeting. Katie, can we have a roll call, please?
Hi, Sarah. If you were talking to me right then, I apologize. I have an echo because of my audio and I did not hear you. Would you like me to take roll call?
Yeah, we're going to call the meeting to order at 2:06.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so commissioners attending are Sarah Benton.
Yeah. Present.
Okay, Commissioner Katie Cienko.
Here, present.
Commissioner Richard Vanover.
Here.
Commissioner P.V. Jantz. And Commissioner Sue K. Neifel.
Present.
Okay, and we have ACDHH staff, Carmen Green Smith.
Here.
Emmett Hassan.
Here.
Victoria Vaughn.
Here.
And that concludes roll call for the meeting.
And PV responded in the chat that he was here. Okay, moving down in the agenda, committee chair report. I do not have a report at this time. So I'd like to move down to the next one, which would be the review and approval of the sign language interpreter license applications. Before we take a motion to approve, is there any discussion from any of the commissioners on any of the applicants on the list? Okay, I'd like to just bring to everyone's attention, number 11 on the list is Renee Olivier, or I'm not sure how you pronounce her name. That was an application that we reviewed during the September meeting, and we asked the staff to collect some more information because when we reviewed the information on her license at that time, her application at that time, it became known to staff that her license had been, her certification, excuse me, had been revoked by the RID. So we asked for more information. And since that time, we have received more information from staff. And when we reviewed the meeting, the minutes, the information, excuse me, for tonight's board meeting, you'll see all of the information under the complaints. So all of that information is there for our review tonight. So it will be discussed at the board meeting tonight as far as how to proceed with this application. It would be my recommendation at this time that we do not approve her license application, that we move ahead if it's the will of the group to move ahead with the other applicants, but we hold her application for this evening and we discuss it with the full board.
This is Commissioner Kneifel. I move that we pull Renee Olivier's application until full board discussion can take place.
A second, Richard Vanover.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor to hold that one application until there's further discussion with the full board tonight, seconded by Commissioner Vanover. Is there any other discussion on that motion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by raising your hand. or PV, however, in the chat. We'll give him a minute to respond. Aye, thank you. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, motion carried. So that one application will be held till tonight. Okay, thank you. Okay, so moving on to the remaining 17 names. Are there any other questions or any other discussion about any of the other candidates? No. Is there anything that staff would like to add to any other information that staff would like to share before we move ahead? Okay. I would entertain a motion to approve the other 17 names.
Richard and I are eyeing each other. This is Commissioner Kneifel. I move to accept the following applications for licensure. Allison Beebe, Matthew Brown, Melanie Crosby, Amanda Donahue, Adam Doyle, Jaden Farr, Amanda Guy, Julie Jackson Souter, Casey Casperson, Bradley Noel, Tamara Panasenko, Elisa Parker, Lisa Peterson, Camilla Rasili, Lauren Wurstler, Heather Williams, and Amy Windhurst.
Is there a second? I'm not sure how you guys can give each other the eye on Zoom. That's really talented.
This is Commissioner Cienko. I second that.
I think Richard beat you to it.
Either way, this is Richard. Either way.
Rock, paper, scissors. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
I wasn't fast enough.
Okay, all those in favor? Should we get another? Oh, there's another eye. Okay. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, motion carried. Thank you, everyone. Moving down in our agenda, emergency rulemaking. I had the COVID impact on Arizona interpreter licensure, and for this one, I will turn it over to Carmen. Thank you.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you, Commissioner Benton. In a nutshell, I'm sure I'll just do a quick review. I'm sure most of you remember, I believe it was back in April. It was either April or May. We had a meeting, and I think we even called it maybe an emergency meeting to address the impact of COVID-19 on licensure. And if you will recall, at that time, we reported that the commission was not included with the organizations, or with the agencies, I'm sorry, the state agencies that were given authority to look at testing options, to look at any waivers that they may apply for licensees or for future applicants. And we were not included on that particular list. We still are not included on that list. And during that April meeting, we did inform the commissioners that the plan was to, of course, use our general guidelines that we currently have for any applicants with the 30, 60, 90-day process, as well as the option for the 120-day extension that applicants are afforded when they need it. Well, of course, now we're 8 months into COVID, and we're coming up on situations where we believe will be really impactful on the entire community. For example, one of the categories of licensing that will be impacted will be the legal aid. The legal aid licensees at this time will be impacted in a downgrade in their category of license if they do not have the CIC certification that's offered for BEI. We talked in April about the hold on the test, the different tests from really both organizations of RID and BEI. BEI is the only test that is available for legal licensing or legal certification right now. They still have a hold on their test. As of January 1st, 2021, any individuals in the legal A classification that do not have the CIC from BEI would be downgraded to a legal C. That is going to cut the pool from 54 to about 27 individuals that would have a legal A and be able to work alone. The individuals who would be downgraded to a legal C, they would be restricted and have to work in specific environments only. They are not without employment, but there are additional restrictions that would apply to those individuals. Well, several of those individuals had already applied and were scheduled to take the BEI test prior to COVID-19. And because of COVID-19, they've not been able to do so. In other licensing categories, such as provisional licensees, those individuals would have had the option to take the test that would allow them to upgrade to a general license. They are not able to take the test either. And again, we don't know the deadline for any of those tests becoming available, just like so many things related to COVID. So we have done some inquiring about what we can do to mitigate some of the negative impact for individuals that use American Sign Language interpreters. It seems one of the primary options that is available is to do an emergency rulemaking, go through the emergency rulemaking process. We have met internally with the executive team, and Betty has reached out to our liaison with the governor's office. And we've started some of those discussions for what our options would be. And so on this evening, we want to discuss a little further in the full board meeting what that process might look like, as well as getting some further direction from the board as to what things you would like to entertain for any category of licensing that might be impacted by COVID-19. Now, of course, we could get into the process, and there may be parameters that are set up in the emergency rulemaking process that maybe we're not yet informed about, but we do want to bring the impact to the attention of the board and just make you aware of what some of our options could be for mitigating some of those negative impacts. We have received letters and emails from some individuals that are in that legal A category, as well as individuals that are in the provisional category. So we wanted to make the ILC aware, even before tonight's meeting, about the feedback that we've been getting from licensees, as well as what the commission staff have done to see what our opportunities might be for making sure that we feel as little negative impact as possible for COVID-19, which is out of our control. So at this time, if you have any questions, I'll try my best to answer those.
I just wanted to share for those that are provisional and who are waiting to take the CASLI test, the testing site in Flagstaff is actually open. So we are operating right now, which is great. I don't know how many other sites there are in the state, and maybe none, but we are open. I've had a couple candidates, and they're coming from Nevada, from California, from Tucson. So people are coming to Flagstaff to take the test.
This is Emmett. Sarah, was that the written or performance test? Performance.
Mhm.
Wow, the NIC performance. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And now we'll be adding the CDI test. So that will all be part of the suite of tests that are available at the testing site.
Okay, and this is Emmett again. I would like to clarify the new NIC written exam for hearing and deaf interpreters has already been released, and the performance portion of the CDI test is ready to go, but the NIC performance for hearing interpreters is currently unavailable because they were in the process of working on it when COVID hit. So I'm a little bit surprised to hear that. And I did speak with Star Greer at Castley, and she did say that some test sites are open right now, mostly for the written, but I'm surprised to hear that the performance is open as well. That wasn't clearly communicated to me. So I'm really surprised to hear that it's open up in Flagstaff.
Well, yeah, so my understanding is that the revised test is on hold. And so testing sites are still using the materials that were previously made available, and they're not looking for a new test until sometime in spring of 2021. So yeah, we're fully operational.
Okay, that's good to know. I'll be sure to write that down.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Benton, for sharing that information. And I believe that'll be good information for the board to have this evening as well. So we can certainly move on from this. I wanted to just be able to give you a summary, just so that you would know, as the ILC, the work that's been going into this. And then it's also, again, for the public to be aware that this issue is also on the full board agenda for this evening. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, because come January 1st, to reduce our pool of legal A by half, that's significant. Yeah. Any other comments or questions? Okay. Thank you, Carmen. Okay, the next item on our agenda is dates, meeting dates for 2021. Is this a Katie thing? No, it's not a Katie item? Okay.
Emmett, did you have those dates, or do you want me to find them? The dates for 2021 for ILC.
I have the dates here ready and pulled up. I'm not sure if you received a copy of the dates yet or not, but they'll be pretty similar to last year. We're going to be shifting to the different months. 2021 will be starting in February. This year, we happen to start in January. Do you want me to go through all of the dates, or have you already received the dates?
Have people seen the dates already? I don't recall seeing them.
I'd be happy to go over them again. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Be happy to go over those dates. All right. The first one will be February 18th, 2021. It's the third Thursday of the month. We're going to be having that consistently for the dates. April 15th, June 17th, August 19th, October 21st, and December 16th. We'll be meeting at 2 o'clock, just like we normally do. And we will have an additional date, a transition meeting between today's meeting and the February meeting. For that, I'm proposing January 7th.
Okay.
The February 18th and August 19th dates will be on the same day as our proposed 2021 board meetings.
Thank you. Questions or concern about the schedule for 2021? No. Okay. Thank you, Emmett.
Sure.
Any announcements other than wedding anniversary?
Commissioner Benton, if I may go back to the emergency rulemaking, one of the things that perhaps the members of the ILC could be considering for this evening's meeting is the possibility of what length of time should you go in the direction of extending the time for individuals, whether it be in the provisional category or the legal aid category, maybe taking into consideration thinking about what you might recommend if you happen to agree with extending that time, whether you would want to look at a 1-year window, a 2-year window, 6 months, whatever it might be, in order for some thought to be brought to the full board for consideration this evening as to what time, if any, we might want to be entertaining for those requirements. And that will give the staff some options to work with while we're having our communications with the governor's office.
So for example, if we said we would review it every 6 months, but individuals would obviously need to maintain, legal A individuals would need to maintain all of their CEU requirements and all of the other requirements to maintain the credential. And then the commission would review it on whatever time frame we determined. Is that the kind of thing that you're thinking about? Okay.
Yes. So you're thinking about what you would want to see happen, or what you think is reasonable or fair for these individuals. And again, that is if you do agree with making how we might address this situation, to say, here's what the potential impacts are with legal A, here's the potential impacts for those that have provisional. And again, we received some new information from you just now, in that the performance test being available in the Flagstaff area. We did not have that information earlier for the NIC, or for Castley, excuse me, that the performance portion might be available. So again, I think for the benefit of this evening, for you all to take some of those things into consideration and what you might want to propose to the staff for options as we move forward.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, not to advocate for the Flagstaff site as an option, but I think it's much less of an issue for folks that have provisional licenses if we have something available in the state.
This is Emmett. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I believe I had a conversation with someone, and they were saying that the new test was supposed to come out January 1st, 2021. And I didn't know if they were putting a hold on that until later, because if I recall correctly, the new written test is supposed to start January, but that has an impact on the old test that they are getting rid of. So I have no idea what their plans are, but I was told that they were supposed to start the new written test in January.
Okay.
All right, so are we clear on the dates for 2021? Okay, all right.
And then Katie shared the document in the chat, as well as she'll be emailing everyone the dates. Thank you, Katie. Okay. If there are no other announcements, then I would take a motion to adjourn.
Commissioner Vanover, I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Is there a second?
This is Commissioner Kneifel, I second that. You beat me.
Again.
I'm too slow today.
All in favor?
It's a slow day for me.
Opposed? Everyone want to stay and hang out and visit some more? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to all the staff. Thank you for all the work that you were doing and for keeping the community safe, keeping the ball rolling. We really appreciate all of the work that you do and your diligence. Obviously, we wouldn't be able to do what we do so easily without all the work that you do on the backside. So thank you for that. Okay, we'll see you all in a few hours then.
Bye-bye.
All right.